So take it away, Tomiko.
Okay. So this is not going to be using all of the big words that a lot of people that teach SEO use, and it becomes a little overwhelming because you don't really understand the language that they are using, that they're talking. So this is going to be SEO, like dumbed down to as low as it can go. I want everybody to understand it. I want to speak in plain language so that everybody completely understands. So I'm going to share my screen now. Let's see here. All right. 1 second. All right. Sorry, people. All right, here we go. All right. All right, so the basics of what we're going to talk about today is what is SEO, how to find easy content to create, understanding the pages and titles, backlinks, social influences, page speed, and making sure that you use the right description in your images so that Google can better understand your content and understand who you're writing for. Those are the very basics of what SEO is. And so when you think about Google and you're writing for your audience, how does Google work? Google has to find you, then it has to analyze your content that's on your website, and then Google decides where it's going to rank you. So how does Google find how do they find your site? You have to write content. And what kind of content? Are you writing the bare minimum, or are you writing quality content that your users want? So with that being said, so hold on, let me move forward. So discovery, there are 3 stages of how the search engine and Google's work. So discovery. So that means that once you write your blog post, Google then crawls your website. So they send the little bugs in, they crawl your website, then Google determines if that content is relevant to what is already ranking on Google. Then Google decides if you are an authority on that subject. And that's how they determine if they're going to rank you or not. So first you need to be found by Google, then Google decides if you're relevant, and then Google determines if you're an authority on that subject. So this is one of the articles that I wrote, and I ranked number 3 on this article, and the article is Cancun safe for travel? So I am travel and leisure is number 1, Barcelona is number 2, and I am number 3 on this post. So I have about 7 articles on Mexico, because you can't write one article on one topic and then think that Google is going to automatically rank you on the first page of Google. You can't do that and think that you have to write multiple blog posts in order on a particular subject before Google will deem you as an authority. So say if you go to Cancun and you write one article on Cancun and then you move on to something else, you're not going to rank on the top page. So what I want you all to do is figure out what is it that Google is already telling you that you are an authority on. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second so that I can. So how is it that you are looking at your information, that you are determining what you want to be an authority on? If like travel right now is, we know that, we're not getting a lot of traffic from travel. And so how else can you pivot and utilize travel? So for me, I know that Google looks at me as an authority on Mexico. So, but people aren't traveling right now. So what else can I write about that is Mexico related that I can get Google to rank me for fairly quickly. So I'm a big proponent of elective surgery, plastic surgery. So I started researching best plastic surgeons in Mexico because medical tourism is a big thing right now. People are traveling all over for medical tourism. So I started writing blog posts on medical tourism in Mexico because I will probably rank, because all of my other blog posts on Mexico rank on the top page. So you really have to really understand who your audience is and what Google has already deemed you as an authority in. So if you go to your Google console, you will already see key phrases in Google console that Google is saying this is how people are finding you. So if I go, I'm gonna switch back up and I'm gonna share my screen again. Hold on one second. Sorry, people. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. And so does everybody have Google Console? Can you type in the box if everybody say yes if you have Google Console? And let me know if you have Google Console connected to your website. Hold on, let me have the wrong one. Let me see here. Oh, I don't know what this is. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. I don't know. Hold on. Make sure I'm pulling up the right one. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Okay, this is what happens when you are live. Things don't always go as planned. Okay, here we go. So Google Console will give you all of the key phrases that you are ranking for in Google already. So if you go into your Google Console, you should be able to see the key phrases that Google is already ranking you for. That needs to be your first stop. So did we get a list? Did people jump in the chat to say whether or not they had already had a Google Console connected? Did we get a list? Did people come in and say whether or not they were connected to Google Console?
You got some yeses, but you got quite a few no's. So maybe make sure people know how to get to it.
Okay. So what I need, I'm going to send an email out with some homework for everybody. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your Google Analytics is connected and that your Google Console is connected. That is the first thing you must do, because that is giving you free information on what you need to be writing about. If Google has you already as an authority on a particular phrase or subject, then you need to be writing more about that particular phrase or subject. So that is the first thing I want everybody to go and make sure that your Google Console is connected and that your Google Analytics is connected. So, and then the keywords come in. So, are you doing proper keyword search? Are you writing articles because they are passionate about, you're passionate about the article or the subject, or are you writing content that people are searching for? And there is a difference between the two. So you can very well write about something that is not, doesn't have a large key phrase or keyword volume, but you're not going to get a lot of traffic on it. So I need everybody to jump in the chat and tell me whether or not they have a key search tool that they are using to research the keywords that they are writing for. And Lauren, can you let me know what people are saying, if they have a key search tool that they are using, and do they know how to search for keywords? And if somebody could give me a topic that they want to rank for, drop it in the key search, and I'll show you how I go about doing that. If somebody could give me a topic that they want to rank for.
Sorry. I see a lot of no's in here about a keyword search tool. Definitely some people are going to need more guidance about connecting to Google Search Console. I dropped the link, but that homework is going to be really helpful for them. I see someone here uses Uber Suggest for their keyword search. I see Key Search, Moz, Screaming Frog. Let's see. I see another Uber Suggest. So one, travel restrictions is a keyword that someone threw out.
Okay. So I use Key Search. It's the most inexpensive one out of all of the kind of keyword applications. And it works just as good as the expensive ones. So what was the phrase again, Lauren?
Travel restrictions.
Okay, travel restrictions. So if you put in the key phrase that you're wanting to rank for, or you want to write a blog post about travel restrictions. So I use Key Search, you put it in here, and this is going to tell you whether or not this is a viable keyword. So we see 40,000 people search this key phrase monthly, and the score is a 54 and it's in red. So that means we probably won't be able to rank for that. So I would suggest not writing a blog post on travel restrictions, because you remember, you want to write a blog post that you're going to be able to rank for. And if you come over here, CDC, the US government, Kayak, CNN, Travel Plus, and Delta, all of these are the top 10 articles that are written on travel restrictions. So maybe you want to do travel restrictions in, where's the destination, Lauren? Travel restrictions where?
Let's throw out some destinations. Where do you want travel restrictions? Where? Bali.
Travel restrictions, Bali. Let's see. So that has 0 volume. So let's do travel warnings instead of restrictions. Travel warnings in Bali. Because that has 0. So that means nobody is searching for travel restrictions in Bali. But now down here, you see, okay, Bali travel warning. Then you have Bali travel ban, travel restrictions in Cuba, Bali travel advisory, Indonesia safe. Let's see here. Trying to find one that's green, because you want it to be, you want the color over here, this kind of orangey, like greenish kind of color. That means that you could possibly rank for it. You may get on the first page, but it'll be all the way down at the bottom. And you really want to be in the first 3, you want to be on the first 3 articles at the top of Google. Yeah, that's a hard one to rank for. So this would be something that you would not want to really write a blog post about, because you're not going to be able to rank for it. So does everyone understand why you need to research your keywords? Because if you're not researching the keywords, somebody give me another destination. Travel warnings in
somebody said the Caribbean.
Okay. All right, let's try that. So unless you already have a lot of Bali posts, that this can be an add-on and you can add backlinks to your other Bali posts. I wouldn't waste time writing a blog post on travel warnings in Bali. So now if we go to travel warnings in the Caribbean, travel advisory in the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic, let's see if we can get some green on one of these. And these may be green right now, but look, all of these are red. So this again means this probably is not a good subject to write about, because you may write about it, but it's never going to be seen. This subject will never see the light of day.
Scroll back up. I thought I saw something flash. Maybe not. Do you want another topic? Somebody
somebody want to give me another topic outside of travel advisory? Like, let's see, romantic things to do where? Romantic things to do in where?
Chicago.
Chicago, okay. That's not bad. Fun things for couples. Top things to do in Chicago, romantic places, romantic.
Somebody threw out pet travel.
Okay. Let me see if anything. Okay. I want to make that longer. Help me with a long-term phrase for
maybe traveling with your pet on a road trip. Road trips with pets.
Yeah, road trips with pets. Okay. So this gives everyone an idea of why keyword research is so important. So while all of these are great topics that we're pulling up, that we're researching right now, if you write about some of these things, nobody is going to see your blog post. You just write them because you feel passionate about them. No one will see them other than you and maybe your friend or, a couple of people on Facebook, but that's it. You want to write for Google and not for your friends and family on Facebook. So let's see. So I kind of just go through and kind of check them all to see if any of them comes up. Let's see. So people that are in the UK, dog-friendly beach holidays. Oh, here's some. Let's see, dog-friendly short breaks, dog-friendly holiday, stuff catering, dog-friendly weekend breaks, pet-friendly lodges, pet-friendly holiday cottages, holidays with dogs. Like this is 6,600 people per month search pet-friendly cottages. 9,000 people are searching holidays with your dogs. Dog vacations. Luxury. It must be something with these cottages and dogs. I would have never thought about.
So people
like this.
What are the good percentages? Can you talk to them about the green? Green ones they're good?
So green is where you want to be. You want your keyword to be in green. That means that go for it. You can write about this. There are not a whole lot of articles. Well, there may be a lot of articles written about it, but you can rank for this. The kind of greenish, kind of orangey kind of color, that means there's a possibility that you can rank for it. You may end up on the first or the second page. If you create a lot of content, you may go up in ranking on it. If it comes up in red, that means it is a no-go. Like this one right here is pet travel. So everybody and their mama probably has an article on pet travel. So you wouldn't want to write about just pet travel. The phrases need to be long tail keywords so it can be very niche down. Like dog-friendly holiday homes versus pet travel. That's a little bit more tight of a key phrase. Weekend breaks with dogs.
Go to dog-friendly vacation. That one.
This one right here, okay. And so let's see, 1,600 people are Googling dog-friendly vacations. And I would say this is still even doable if you write about pet travel. And then you would come over here and see who all else has written this article. And then what I do is I click on that article because it gets you right to it. And then you look, you see what the title is, 10 best dog-friendly vacations in the United States. Dog-friendly destinations. You can tell this is one of their keywords in here. So you go and you look at what the people that are already ranking in the 1 through 3 spot or 1 through 5, and you make your content better than the content that is already out there. So you can kind of tell dog-friendly vacation, that's their keyword there. Dog-friendly destinations, that's one of their keywords. And then they go into listing the destinations. And you can see how this article is ranking number 1. So any other questions about keywords and why keywords are so important?
There was a question about the charts that were on the left, but I think you just got into that.
Oh, this right here? Yes. And so this tells what the article's page authority, their domain authority. I normally look at these over here. Is the keyword in the title, description, and URL. So I forget which one we looked at for this one. Was it road? No, it wasn't road trip. I think it was the pet friendly holidays. So like a lot of these, the URL, the keyword is not in the URL and it's not in the title. So if this was a bot, you could probably come in and if you put your key phrase in the URL, in the title, and the description, you probably can outbeat these top ranking articles here. So I look at all of that. Your keyword needs to be in your URL. I don't suggest having numbers in your URL like 10 best dog-friendly hotels in Canada or wherever. Because if somebody else comes out and they write an article on top destinations for dog vacations, and then they have a longer list, then you have limited yourself in the URL. Somebody else is going to outrank you. So just put the key phrase in the URL. I don't suggest putting a number in the URL, and don't put a date like 10 best luxury hotels for 2020, because you can go back and update those posts, which is what I'm about to get into here shortly. All right. So the best way to get traffic to your website is updating old posts, which is historical optimization. Go back, look at an old blog post that you may be ranking on the second or third page of Google and make it new, add fresh images, research your keywords that have to do with that particular article. Make sure that you are using the right keywords for an old blog post. So if you've already written it and you may already be ranking, that right there is what I call low-hanging fruit. So because we know that 57% of traffic comes from Google, from the first page. So if you're on the second page of Google, nobody cares. When was the last time you clicked over to the second page of Google yourself because what you didn't find on the first page wasn't available? You know, most people just don't look on the second page. So you want to be on the first page, and you really want to be in the top 3 spots. When you update an old post, I'm sorry, y'all, I have a typo on there. I didn't even see that. Forgive me. Add new sections to answer user intent. Add list items. Google loves 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. Update old information and statistics and dates, and add more detail to the post. And so that Google can, because Google loves for you to refresh content. So, and then once you refresh your content and you've added updated information, you've added new images, publish your content as brand new, which means change the date and publish it as a brand new content, and then promote it like you would anything else. And we have to realize that SEO is a long-term game. So from the time you publish a post to the time that Google, it takes about 3 months before Google will say, it will rank you. So you can't work on SEO for 2 or 3 months and then get discouraged. It is literally a long-term game because it takes 3 to 4 months before Google will say, I'm going to rank you on this particular post. So for me, this is about to be October. You should already be working on your spring content right now. That means that because it's going to take 3 months for Google to rank you. So right now you should be working on your spring content, because that will give all of winter for Google. Because right now people are probably Googling what to do in, November, December. And then when fall comes, people are ready to travel. They're going to be Googling where to go for spring break. Everybody should be working on their spring break articles right now, today, not in January. You should be working on spring break articles right now. Then in January, you're supposed to be working on your summer content, because then you're going to give Google 3 months to rank your articles, and so on and so on. Then in the summer, you're working on your fall content. And then in the fall, you're working on your winter, on your spring content. So it's like a revolving door. And then you can go back and update those posts that you have that are always going to be housed on your website. So if you have an article that is on where, like I wrote an article on where to see the fall leaves in the Smoky Mountains. So that's a post that I have every year that I know I need to update, I need to make it fresh, I need to add new images. That's a post that's already written that I will update and publish it new as a new article, probably in August of next year, and it'll be ready to go when people start researching where to go finding the fall leaves in the Smoky Mountains. Top best places to see the fall leaves in Arkansas. So I have those posts already written every year, and I publish them as new. I'm not creating new content. So, any questions? What do we have?
Do you want to get into questions now, or you have more slides?
We can, yes, we can get into questions now.
Okay, so awesome. People have great questions they want to know more about the keywords. So for the keywords, they want to understand Should they be, where should they be putting them? How many times should they be using the keywords? You know, as far as
Okay.
talk about that structure, kind of cheat code for
Okay.
it.
All right, then I'm going to pull up, I'm going to go into my back end. Hold on one second. Let's see. And then we will, give me 1 second to pull up my back end and I'll share my screen again. Okay, so.
Tomiko's doing that. I am taking note of all of your questions. So keep putting these in the chat and we'll try to get through
Okay.
as many of them as we can.
Okay, so I just wrote this post. I published it on the 17th. So Jamaica's most luxurious resorts and hotels. So let's see. So does everybody have Yoast?
You got some yeses, some nos. That was actually one of the questions too, to explain Yoast and other tools like that if they're helpful.
So this is the bottom of Yoast. If everyone is familiar with Yoast, it's a premium SEO plugin that helps you with understanding your keywords and whether or not you have the right amount, your keyword is sprinkled enough throughout your blog post. So the keyword that I want to rank for is Jamaica luxury resorts. So this is the keyword right here. So this is what you will see on Google if you Google that. I just published it, so it's ranking like number 35, I believe, as of this morning. So then the SERP, find the best Jamaica luxury resorts and best boutique hotels in Jamaica, including the best rates online now. So these are the 3 key phrases that I want to rank for this article. So we go back up to the top. If you're planning to visit Jamaica, and I put in 2021 because I'm not writing for this current year. I am writing for 2021. So, and looking for the best boutique hotels in Jamaica or Jamaica's luxury resorts, you have come to the right place. Right off top, my keywords are in the very first sentence. Right, so you want your keywords to be in the very first paragraph. Then you want your keyword in your H2 heading or H3 heading. And then so I use Mediavine's, it's like a plugin that lists all of the hotels. So all of the 20 hotels that I have listed are in here. So and there are keywords. So let me pull it up here as well so that you can see what it looks like. And this is free. You don't have to be in Mediavine in order to use this tool. So let me show you what it looks like. It makes your blog post look really, really good. It's Mediavine Create is the name of the plugin. I think it's going slow because we are on this, let's see here. Okay. Here we go. So this is what that plugin looks like. So it just gives you, it kind of makes it look nice and pretty. And also all of the pictures and everything is like right in there, and you still have links in there. So it's Create by Mediavine is the plugin. And so it just makes everything look a little bit better in my opinion. So I use that instead of putting numbers and then the pictures. So it just puts it in a format that is more visually appealing to the eye. But if we go back to my back end, then I end every blog post with the key phrase again: conclusion of the best luxury hotels and boutique resorts in Jamaica. Luxury hotels in Jamaica. I talk about world-class luxury hotels and oh, that's a typo right there. Glad I saw that. All right. And make sure there are no typos, because Google dings you for that as well. And then additional articles on where to stay in Jamaica. And then at the bottom, I also always, have you been to Jamaica? What are your favorite luxury hotels or boutique resorts? Love to hear your thoughts on traveling to Jamaica and whether you stay at one of these beautiful hotels in Jamaica. So the keywords are sprinkled all throughout the blog post. So you need to have it in your URL. You need to have it in your meta description, and you need to have it in your title. It needs to also be in the first paragraph of your blog post, and it needs to be in your H2 and H3 headings. Got it? So URL, no numbers, no dates. Meta description. Your H2 and H3 headings, and it needs to be sprinkled throughout the blog post.
What about pictures?
So here you go. So let me go into my media. So I named this picture Best Luxury Resorts in Jamaica. When you upload your images to WordPress, you need to save your images as your key phrase, because if you save it as 123 ABC or whatever it automatically saves, then Google can't find it. So you need your images to be saved as a key phrase as well. So this image was saved as Best Luxury Resorts in Jamaica because that's one of the key phrases that I want to rank for. So your images coincide with your keywords for your blog post, for your URL, for your description. All of that needs to tie in together. And I have different boutique hotels. This is the name of the actual place, the Rock House Cliffs, Jake's Hotel in Jamaica. These are the images are named after the hotels. And then I still have the keywords and the descriptions in the images. All of that, Google looks at and reads all of that when they are determining whether or not you're going to rank. And make sure that you backlink to any other articles that you have written about that can go into that. So at the end of each one of my, Yoast does this for you. So I already had an article on where to, a Sandals South Coast review. I already had an article on adults only vacation, luxury boutique hotels in Cabo. And so I go in and I backlink to some of those articles in the post as well. Because you're telling Google that I am an authority. I have already written on this subject. So you want to backlink those articles as well.
Can you also talk about more about backlinks? So what about external?
So this is something that's very hard for me. And it is hard for me because I don't do a very good job of asking for backlinks. You want to have authentic backlinks. I just, people have different schools of thought. You can go into some of the pods and the Facebook groups and say, hey, I need a backlink. I don't do that. I do have some good backlinks from my Mexico articles that were authentic from Mexico newspapers. from a university. It's good to get backlinks that are from educational sites and from newspapers. But if you have someone that has a high domain authority and they want to, you can ask them, hey, can you backlink to my article? I just don't do it.
And remember, this is a beginner course, so let's also make it clear to people exactly what a backlink is.
So a backlink is going to be when another blog, newspaper, whatever it is, your content is so good that they said, oh my God, I want to write an article that, and I'm going to link to your article to say she is an authority on this subject. So an example of a backlink would be, let's see. One second. All right, so I think, here we go.
And so just to clarify for people, like a backlink is just a link from another web source to yours and yours back to them.
Back
So
to theirs.
even if
So,
how
I'm sorry,
Tomiko
go
and
ahead.
I are friends. So if she knows that I have a post about Carnival, but she's got something in the Caribbean and it makes sense, she can be like, "Hurry, girl, I wrote this article. Can you link to this? Give me a link you want me to use." It can really be that simple. If you have other people kind of in your blogger tribe that you're comfortable with, that have, you know, a good DA, then you can do that for collabs. I've had people just randomly email me and I can tell they're doing their key search, their keyword research, because they saw me rank for something similar. And so they reached out for us to swap some backlinks, and that's perfectly okay. And Google will reward you for it.
So like this article on Is Mexico Safe? I backlink to the travel post on, you know, they are well known for their Mexico articles, so I backlink to them. So when you backlink to another source in your article, you are saying, I trust them. I trust this source. And so I want my audience to not only have information from me, but I want my audience to have information from other trusted sources as well. So don't be afraid to backlink and think that then they're going to leave my site. Google rewards you when you backlink to other sites that you say you trust them. It is a trusted source. So you need to have backlinks to other sites and internal links as well.
Yep, definitely want to make sure you have those internal links to link to your own content. Can you talk a little bit about what cornerstone content is and what that means?
Yes, so cornerstone content is content that can, no matter what, it is going to be relevant. So for me, one of the best cornerstone content that I have is on, which is coming up, fall leaves in the Smoky Mountains and in Arkansas. I get a lot of traffic from those two blog posts every year when people start researching where to go leaf peeping in Arkansas and in the Smoky Mountains. It is content that is always housed on your site, and it is always going to be relevant. It's not about 2021. It's not about, you know, an event that is happening. It is content that is always going to be on your site, and it's always going to be relevant. We know the leaves are going to turn every fall. So those two articles provide me with a gang of traffic every year. And so I make sure that I update those articles ahead of time, because those are two cornerstone articles for me.
So another question we had come through is, do these SEO concepts apply to social media, or is it just to our websites?
You know, it does apply. Well, it depends. You know, I don't look for, get a lot of traffic from Facebook and Instagram. I just don't. And so it really depends on what kind of audience you have and whether or not, you know, your audience is coming from social. So while I do share my articles on social, I get most of my traffic from Google and from Pinterest. I don't think you have to use the same sort of regimen that you do on your blog post that you're going to do on social, because they're different platforms. So, you know, do people research hashtags on Facebook? Not really, you know, but people put them there. So you have to think about the platform that you're using and how you use that platform. I don't know if I answered the question though.
I think so. And whoever asked that, if this didn't clear it up for you, let us know. I will say for Pinterest, the keyword concept does pretty much carry over, because you want to put that same meta description in your Pinterest description, because Pinterest really is a search engine, and so it's going to operate much in the same way. We had another question come through. What about, are you also tying in affiliate links in your post as well?
I do tie in affiliate links, and even in the so in this one here, there are affiliate links in, let me go back to the Jamaica post. So yes, I use CJ, which is Commission Junction. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with Commission Junction, but if you are not, it is an affiliate program, and I use Commission Junction. It's free to sign up for it, and that is so. I use backlinks to affiliate links in my blog posts. Yes.
Another question. Can you expound on what publishing as new really means, and should I be changing my URL?
All right. So publishing as new. So say this was an old blog post here and I just finished updating it. So I've added my keywords, I've changed it up, I've made new content with it. And over here on the side, if you go over here to edit, and then here's September. So I put September's date, put the time, okay. And once you click update, it'll be the newest blog post on your website. So now you have published this article as brand new. So all you do is go in here, change the date and the time to whatever, it's 11:53 here where I am, put in the date, put it in 11:53, press OK and update, and then it'll be a new blog post. It'll show up as new on your website.
And should they be changing the URL, or we want to leave the URL the same?
The only way I change the URL is if it has, I have gone back and changed URLs that had date and numbers in there. Sometimes the rule of thumb is not to, but if you have some URL and it says crazy about, you know, Jamaica, you know, where to eat, where to stay in Jamaica for 2019, because that's when you wrote the blog post, then, you know, I change my URLs, but only if it has a year in it. But that is not, some people don't suggest changing the URLs at all, but I have changed my URLs. So, but I would not change it if it is already ranking on the first page. But if nobody has been to that, if nobody has seen that blog and it has gotten any traffic in the last 5 years, and you're updating it and trying to make it new and refresh it, then nobody has seen it anyway, so it ain't gonna hurt nothing. That's sort of my rule of thought on it. If you wrote it 5 years ago and ain't nobody clicked on the blog post in 5 years, well, hell, I mean, what harm is it really going to do if you change the URL? Ain't nobody read it no damn way.
And then just one more thing I want to make sure you touch on, Tomiko. What about actually deleting posts that are underperforming on your site?
That goes almost to the changing the URL. If I went back here in January and I deleted about maybe 6 or 7 blog posts, because they were like, drag your website down. You have all these underperforming blog posts that don't have keywords. Google don't know whether you are talking about, you know, hair one week, you talking about, you know, nail polish the next week, you talking about travel the following week, and all of these are old blog posts that have different, they're different niches. Sometimes it's okay to delete old blog posts. If nobody has read it in 5, 10 years, you've had your blog post for 10 years, and you was writing before you even understood what SEO is, and you just have 50 pages of blog posts, I say delete them. If you're not writing about that subject anymore and you're not gonna refresh it and make it new, I say delete it. Because, you know, why are you holding up all that space on your back end anyway?
We got a question.
If nobody is reading it, why are you holding on to it? Because it's sentimental? Put it in a Word document and read it when you want to.
There's actually a specific kind of redirect that you can put into place if you have the Yoast plugin and the Yoast Premium plugin, and that will actually make it so that as far as Google is concerned, that post does not exist, and that's the goal. And Tomiko will share that for you in your homework. So we are coming to the end of time. We do have a few announcements, so don't sign off just yet. Thank you so much, Tomiko, for all this information. It has been truly a pleasure and a joy to have you sharing this information. This is information that people are literally charging hundreds of dollars for people to know and understand, but it is so important for people to, you know, to take advantage of this, because this is your money maker. This is how you get these opportunities, is with your traffic. It is with having you know, people coming to your site. Yes, social media matters, but the traffic coming to your site is actually the most important thing for you. So
can I say one more thing too, Lauren?
Yeah, go ahead.
Also remember that Google ranks pages and not people. That's important as well, to remember that Google ranks pages. So if you want to be known, prime example, I wanted to be ranked for Black travel blogger because that's what I am. So putting Black travel blogger in my about me page, in, you know, my work with me page, that didn't matter because Google doesn't rank people. Google ranks pages. So then I turned around and I wrote a blog post on the top Black travel bloggers to follow in 2020. I included myself in that blog post, and now Nadine is #1 on that blog post because she has an article on top Black travel bloggers to follow as well. So Nadine is #1, and then I'm #3. So remember, Google, if you want to be known for a specific niche, you have to write an article about it and then include yourself, because Google doesn't rank people. Google only ranks pages. So if you want, like Lauren, you know, I think she just wrote a post. Didn't you write a post on Black
outdoor
people? So now she will be ranked as one of, when that post starts ranking and it's on #1 and people click on that, she will now be, her name will be Top Black Outdoor Travel Blogger. So remember, Google ranks pages and not people.
All right. Thank you so much, Tomiko. Let people know, how can they find you and get more information and get in touch with you?
All right, let's see. Am I still sharing my screen or no?
No, you stopped.
Okay.
And don't leave, y'all, because we have a really, really exciting announcement for you.
All right, y'all. So I am, let's see here. Passports and Grub on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And my email address is passportsandgrub@gmail.com. So this is where everybody can find me at. Passports and Grub, all over the place. So y'all follow me, send me an email if you have any questions. If I went too fast over something, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding keywords, regarding backlink. I know we only had an hour and it was like so much information, so much to sort of sift through. But remember, Google needs to discover you. Google needs to make sure that you're relevant, and Google needs to know that you are an authority in the subject that you are writing about. And so that's it.
Thank you so much, Tomiko. This has really been, honestly, invaluable information for our community, and it is really important for all of us to really put these into practice. And so with that said, we will be having a challenge for you going on our social media all next week from Monday to Saturday. You're going to have a daily prompt. It's going to be put out on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You're going to have a daily prompt with your homework for a task for you to put some of these things that we have learned today into action. Make sure you go to our Instagram at the Black Travel Alliance and share in your stories some of these things you have learned and some of these quick tips. There's a really cute graphic for you to use to share that information. We will be sharing the presentation. It was recorded. We'll also be sharing the homework from Tomiko. You'll get all of that via email as a registered participant. And then our big announcement for you, all of you today who do not have a keyword search tool, now you can. You can go to keysearch.co and they have a 30-day free trial. And then after your free trial, you can use a 20% discount code, which I'm going to drop for you in the chat. And you'll also get via email, but you have a 20% discount code for Key Search. And that was a courtesy of Tomiko. She got that done for you all so that no one has any excuse to not have the tools they need to be successful with SEO. So thank you so much, Tomiko, for getting that done for the Black Travel Alliance family, because it's really an amazing deal for people to be able to take advantage of. I'm putting that code for you right now.
And someone said, will the homework be sent out by email as well?
Yes, the homework will be sent out via email. When we send the recording, will be available via email and on YouTube as well. And one more thing. So October webinar, we are already geared up for October. That webinar is going to be on October 17th. The time is still to be determined. And the topic is going to be on pitching DMOs and brands. This one is going to be panel style with 4 members of the Black Travel Alliance board who are all super knowledgeable from both the perspective of the DMO and the brand perspective, as well as the influencer perspective. So get ready for that. That announcement will be coming via our social media and our newsletter when the registration for that opens up as well. So get ready for that challenge. We'll be sending the survey via email. If you have any questions, you can email us at trainingevents@blacktravelalliance.com. Thank you all for participating, and go tell the world what you learned. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Bye-bye.